W. Adams is 100% pro-life.
But we all know, and it's obvious, that if we repealed Roe v. Wade tomorrow, thousands of young American women would be performing illegal and dangerous operations.
There must be public funding for abortions for poor women. We cannot deny any woman the right to make her own decision about abortion because she lacks resources.
I think when you get right down to the question that you pose, should the government come in and criminalize, let's say, a young girl and her parents and her doctor, which as aiders and abettors, that would be involved. I think not.
So you support taxpayer money or public funding for abortion in some cases?
If it would deprive someone of a constitutional right, yes. I mean, if that's the status of the law, then I would, yes.
The day that Roe v. Wade is repealed be a good day for America.
Absolutely.
Well, of course, we're all going to talk about appointing judges that will follow the law and not legislate from the bench. But being pro-life is, of course, much broader than just the kind of judges you appoint. There's legislation which month to month and year to year comes forward that can either protect the sanctity of life or can take it away. As governor, I had several measures that came to my desk which affected life, and they were not court decisions, they were legislative decisions which I faced as governor. And if you're pro-life, then you're going to come down on the side of life. And if you're pro-choice, you'll take the other direction. And it's something where my record is clear. When my legislature tried to redefine when life began, I said no. When they said they were going to clone human embryos for research purposes, I said no. When they said that they were going to block the education of our kids on abstinence in school, I said.
So when asked, will I preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, I make an unequivocal answer, yes.
Shannon snuck a little extra point in there that I want to address, and that is with regards to my views with regards to protecting a woman's right to choose. And I've been very clear on that. I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, and am devoted and dedicated to honoring my word in that regard. I will not change any provisions of Massachusetts' pro-choice laws.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law and the right of a woman to make that choice.
No, I want the voters to know exactly where I'm going to stand as governor, and that is I am not going to change our pro-choice laws in Massachusetts in any way. I will preserve them, I will protect them, I will enforce them, and therefore I'm not going to make any changes which would make it more difficult for a woman to make that choice herself. I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, and all the confusion you try and throw on this issue is doing nothing to help people.
Okay.
What's your position on abortion?
I'm pro-life.
And I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose.
Ted Kennedy said it best. Mitt Romney isn't pro-choice, he's not anti-choice, he's multiple choice.
W. Adams is completely against universal health care.
Americans need to realize that when someone says government option, what could really occur is a government takeover that soon could lead to government bureaucrats denying and delaying care and telling Americans what kind of care they can have.
W. Adams stands tough against taxes.
You'll have to forgive me, I'm kind of in a bad mood. I had to pay my taxes today and I've been pretty ornery and upset the whole time.
I'm not going to raise taxes on Kentuckians. I think they're taxed enough already.
The American taxpayer has suffered enough as a result of the financial crisis and the recession it triggered. They've asked us for one thing. Whatever you do, they said, don't leave open the door to endless bailouts of Wall Street banks. If you need to know one thing about this bill, Mr. President, it's that it would make it official government policy to bail out the biggest Wall Street banks.
Well, here's what President Obama had to say in retort to that.
I am absolutely confident that the bill that emerges is going to be a bill that prevents bailouts. That's the goal.
W. Adams is for big banks, big coal, and big corporations, and he is against a worker's right to choose.
The right to a secret ballot is one which has been protected in America for hundreds of years. Not only will this legislation invite harassment and intimidation into the workplace.
Mr. Adams, are you a Democrat or are you a Republican?
we need to acknowledge that there's enough blame, and it's bipartisan blame. If you're going to be out here and just say it's all Obama, that's not true. For 8 years, we had Republicans in the White House, and for 6 of those 8 years, the Republicans controlled all 3 branches of government. And the deficit went from $5 trillion to $10 trillion.
Well, the big question a lot of people are asking is pretty intuitive. Are Republicans pretending to protect Main Street when they're really in bed with Wall Street?
This message was paid for by nobody.